guys! Today we are going to learn how to draw this cute spring dragon. I will be using Procreate and we'll share some tips along the way. These are the canvas settings. You just need to copy them to your iPad. The first thing we will need to draw is the sketch. So let's start drawing the sketch for our dragon. I always like to start drawing the head. So first thing we will do is draw a circle. Now we will add a small beak. Probably it's not called a beak for dragons, but it's this part here where the mouth and nose goes. I don't know how it's called. I will call beak. So add something like this. I will just make it a little smaller. Let me erase this part here. And there you go. Now, following this intersection, we can add a line here to help us determine the position of the eye. We can add our dragon's eye somewhere here. So just add a small circle like this here. Now we need to add some horns. We can use this intersection here to draw a horn in this position. And the other horn we can add here. Also, let's add an ear here. And a small mouth and nose. Now let's draw the body of our dragon. Start drawing its neck. Now draw its butt. You can close the shape here. Now let's add the tail. We can start in this position and go all this way. And close it here. I think I'll make this part a little bigger. And there you go. We have our tail. Now let's add the paws. Add one front paw here. Add another here. And for the back paw, we can draw a circle. And we can add the back paw here. And finally, let's add the wings. The base for the wings can be something like a triangle. Not really a triangle, this strange shape here. And now following this triangle, we add some small curves. And don't forget the other wing this side. This is the sketch of our dragon, but let's just add some more details to make the Lineart process easier. So let's add some scales, some loose scales around its neck. To mimic some leaves, right? It's a spring dragon. It needs to have some elements that reminds us of spring. I will also add some loose scales here on its face. And add some details too here, near the mouth and near the jaw. And here too. I will make this eye a little bit small. Let me erase the excess. Now I think it's better. And let's also add the details on the ear. We will draw this all a little better when we draw the Lineart, so don't worry. Now let's add some loose scales on its tail too. And let's also add the details on the wings. I think that finally our sketch is good enough. Let's just adjust it through the canvas. And now we can start drawing our Lineart. But first, let's just rename this layer to sketch. Now we can set it to 20% opacity. Now we can finally create another layer above, and let's rename it Lineart. To draw the Lineart, we can use this brush here, the Studio Pen brush, and 5% can be the size. So let's start lining our dragon. I like to start from the face always. And go adjusting your Lineart to your sketch. Make the nostrils. And add these parts here. For the horn, add a thing like this that will give the impression that the horn is coming from this part. Draw the horns. finally the ear. And this detail here too. The eyes we will draw later in another layer, so for now let's leave it like that. Let's just add some of these scales here. If you feel the need, like here, I thought it would be nice to add one more scale there, so you can do your adjustments as you like. Sometimes we forget some details on the sketch phase, but we can always add them later. Just go very nicely drawing over our sketch. Let's draw this part of the tail here. Now let's draw this foot here. The belly. Let's finish drawing the wings. In this part here, I like to make some imperfections. I almost forgot. Let's add the toes, the fingers. Let's add the fingers. Now it's complete. And let's create another layer above the Lineart layer. And let's rename eyes. Eye. There's only one, so eye. Let's draw the eye. And let's fill it with black. Now we can return to our Lineart layer and just add a small eyebrow. And this part here. The Lineart's complete. We can disable the sketch layer. If you want, you can do small adjustments to the Lineart using the liquify tool. Sometimes you will want the face a little smaller or rounder, so we can just analyze a little, and if you think your draw is fine, you don't need to make any adjustments. just compare. I think this looks way cuter than this one. It's more rounder, the face and here too, so I like this way better. Now we can start coloring our dragon. So for this, I've already selected a color palette. The color codes will appear somewhere on the screen, but I will also leave a link if you want to download the color palette, so you can just check the description of this video. The color base of our dragon will be this green here. Let's go to the sketch layer and above it, create another layer. Let's also rename it base color. And using this tool here, the selection tool, with the freehand option selected, I will just contour the dragon. So for now, I will accelerate the video. At the end, we just need to close the selection, clicking in this gray circle. Go to the layers, click the layer and fill layer. Our base color is filled, but there is these points here that we need to delete the color. So again, let's select using the selection tool. We can make multiple selections. We just need to always remember to close the selection. So I contour this part and now I will close it. And I can start selecting this other area here. Again, just close the selection. And let's select this area here too. With all the selections done, we will now go with our 3 fingers on the screen and let's cut. It will delete these parts. This is the base color for our dragon, but we will need to add some colors to the wings and horns and ear. Let's create another layer above the base color. We can rename it base color 2 because this will also be base colors. I just like to make them in a separate layer to make things easier doing the shadows and light. The base color for our ring will be this pink here. Let's select these 3 triangles. Go to the layer and fill layer. And the horn. We will use this brown here as the base color. Let's select the horns. fill layer. And this part of the ear, we will use this pink here. You can use the studio pen too. It's a small part, so we can just paint with a pencil. Let's blend only this part here. So go to the blending tool and we can select the airbrush and medium blend. Adjust the sizes you prefer and make a little gradient. We just need one more base color. Go to the base color layer, this green one, and let's create another layer. This we can set to hard light. And let's grab this yellow here to paint. You can use this soft brush to paint in these spots. Don't forget to clipping mask to the base color layer. And let's start painting. The places where we will paint will be here on the forehead. Very soft. This part of the face here. The point of the ear. And this part of the neck too. Don't worry if it goes to the other parts. Sometimes it leaves a cool looking. This part of the feet too. And here on the tail. On the wings we can paint these points here. Now all the base colors are done. Let's give some texture to our dragon. For this, let's create another layer above this yellow here and clipping mask. Let's set this layer to add. Can leave it at 10%. Let's also select this pink here. And the brush can be this Aurora brush on the artistic category. This will give some texture to our dragon and will also mimic some scales. So we can paint this all along the tail and the tights. Some here. On its back too. This part of the face. And here on the wings. Now let's finally shade our dragon. Let's create another layer, clipping mask, and set this layer to multiply. The color we will use will be this one. And the brush we can return to our soft brush. The place we'll be shading will be this part of the face. And a little bit on the ears. This part here. Also here on this back wing. here, and the paw, the other paw too, this part of the tail, here on the back leg, a little on the butt, this part of the belly, this part of the tail, and here just a little bit. Now let's add some light to our dragon. For this, create another layer, clipping mask, and let's set it to overlay. This will be the reflexive lights. For this, we can select this color here, and let's also set the opacity to 70%. We can keep using the soft brush, and very softly let's add some lights, this part here, just to give some color variation here in the paws. Also this part here of the tail. Sometimes it seems a little redundant when we shade, then we paint again the shadows, but the layering of the colors always gives some nice effects. And now let's add another light layer, create another layer, clipping mask. This time we will set it to hard light. The color we will select will be this orange here. And now let's add some light. With the same soft brush, add some lights in this part of the wing, this other wing too, here on its face, and this part of the neck. Also a little on this paws, this part here, the tight. A little bit on the tail here. To finish the light part of the body of the dragon, we will need to create another layer, clipping mask, and set this layer to add, and its opacity to 20%. The color we can use this pink here, and now select the harder brush. And start highlighting these scales here. This paw, the other one too, a little bit of the ears and this part of the face. Some here. Here on this wing, and the other wing. Also paint this side and this feet here, and this small part of the tail. The main body of our dragon is done. Now we need to add some details to these parts of the wing and the horn. Select this base color here, base color 2. Above it, create another layer. Clipping mask, and let's set it to multiply. The color we will use will be this pink here. The brush can be the harder brush, and on the wings, let's draw something like this. First we paint here. And let's add some strokes. On the horns, we shade here. This part of the ear, small shading here. Let's make these strokes a little more blended. So go to the airbrushing and select the medium blend. And blend them, making these movements with your hand. Can blend also a little the horns. Don't need to blend too much, and a little the ear. Let's also add some highlights. First, let's create another layer and clipping mask. Set it to add 30% opacity. Pick the color, this pink here. Can be the harder brush. Add some small strokes of light on the horn and these parts, and on the wings. Now we need to blend these parts, but this time we will not use the medium blend. This time we will go to the painting tab and select this round brush. And let's blend with this brush. And the horns too. Now we can start painting the eye. Let's go to the eye layer. Let's set it to alpha lock and select the color, this one. Paint the eye. Create another layer above the eye layer. Clipping mask, and let's select this color here, this soft brown here. And we can paint a circle like this. Let's go to the Gaussian blur and blur it a little. Maybe 2% of blur. Let's select the eraser and in the airbrushing tab select the soft brush. And let's erase a little bit here. Now we create another layer above this one, clipping mask. And this time we grab this color here. We will draw another circle in this place here. Again, let's go to the Gaussian blur and blur it. This time can be 4%. Let's also erase with the soft brush to create a very cute gradient. Let's create another layer. Grab the white color. Since there is not white on the color palettes, just select it here. Let's grab, can be the inking, the Studio Pen brush, and add some highlights. One here and another here. We can create another layer. And this time let's grab this brown here with our Studio Pen brush with the size of maybe 20%. Let's draw a line here. And another one here. We can blur this line a little, so just select the blending tool and we can use this round brush. Just blend this part, only this side. And also this part here. Before we start adding more details, let's just color our Lineart. The color we will use can be this brown here. Let's go to our Lineart layer, set it to alpha lock and fill layer. Now unselect alpha lock. We will blend these parts of the Lineart. Select the blending tool. We can use this round brush here on the face. This line here, we will blend a little bit so it can very softly go disappearing. Let's do this on all these scales, all these details, these two. This part of the ear too, here. Very softly in the mouth. This little detail here. Always go adjusting the size as you need. these other scales and spikes on the face. Now here on the neck. I can also do this on the fingers. And these other fingers too. Let's soften this arm too, and the elbow. And all these scales on the tail. And one more here too. This made our dragon very soft looking. It's a very nice touch. Now we can add some special details, but for this we will need to create a new type of brush. So let's create this brush. We will use this round brush as a base for our new brush. The only thing we will do is make the points more pointy. So we can duplicate this brush, click this new one and go to taper. We will adjust these settings here. Also click here. The size we will increase to max and the pressure we will decrease to none. Also tip animation we will disable and link tip sizes we will enable. This size we will make max and the tip we will also make to max, a little blunt. And taper properties we will unselect. So now our brush will have a thin point. Before it was rounder, now it's very thin and safe. Done. If you wish, you can go to properties, now to about this brush and rename this brush as you like. We will use it to create flowers and leaves. So let's just rename leaf brush. Leaf brush. So our leaf brush is here. We will make some details. We can create a layer above all of the others, above this one of the eye. So create another layer and select our new leaf brush. First, we will grab this pink here and let's draw some leaves all over our dragon. What I think gives a very cute looking is we add some small leaves here near the horns. Just go adjusting the size as you like, creating big and small leaves. They are leaves, but they will also give the impression of scales. I added some here on the face. I will add also some here on the wings. Just to give a small flavor, don't need to use a lot, just small details. I will only put pink in these areas. Now we can go to our blending tool and select the round brush. And let's kind of incorporate these scales into our dragon. We will blend this part here of the leaf, of the scales. Blend it a little so it can be united to the skin of the dragon. Very softly blend these parts. Now we will also add some scales under all the rest of the body. But this time we won't select any specific color. What I like to do is, with one finger, click the screen. You can just pick one color. I want to pick a very light yellow. Can be this one. With our leaf brush, we will add some more leaves and scales all over its body. You can apply more pressure so the color will show more, or you can be very gentle and make very soft colors. It's really up to you. Just go filling our cute dragon with some scales here and there. You can always select one new color. For this, for example, select this and let's keep adding scales. Again, I will change the color. Let's blend like we did with the pink scales, with the pink flowers. And last, we will give it a final light. Create another layer and set it to add. The opacity can be, I will set it for now 15%. the color, we can grab this pink here. And let's also select this soft airbrush. Now we can light our whole dragon here in the face. And the tip of the nose. Also the tip of the tail. Some more on the thighs and this part of the wing. I will illuminate a little here too, because it's too dull. Let me see the difference. Much better. And that's it. Our cute spring dragon is done. Thank you for watching this video. I really hope that it was helpful to you and it was enjoyable to watch and easy to follow along. Please, if you liked this video, consider liking and subscribing. And thank you. See you in the next video. Bye bye.